and I'll turn you on the side. So as I was just saying, well, I might as well say this on record, it's so important. Hopefully you can't hear that. I did ask Simon to turn that off. It says motion detected at the garden camera every 5 seconds. Another reason why we're out. It's meant to finish at 6:30. Anyway, so I'm saying about with the menopause that our sleep routine is so important, because with the menopause, a lot of the symptoms are caused from yin deficiency, or if you have a yin deficiency, whether you feel male or female, then yin is like, you want that relaxation energy, you want that calm energy. So meditation is great for that and great for menopause. But sleep in particular, and that rest, because the deficiency comes from generally from when we're tired, pushing ourselves to do, which in society we tend to do all the time. Oh, well, I need to just, I've got to push through it, and I've got to get on with it, and I've got to do. And then you're pushing those reserves and you get out of balance. So, yeah. But that's easier said than done for some people that have issues with sleeping. But if you are doing your Qigong routines and doing like a mini one perhaps before bed, that can help you with your sleep. And if you are waking up in the night, which is a common occurrence with menopause, again, because generally it's around that 3 a.m. time to 3 to 5 a.m. That's associated, I think, with the liver and the lungs. My sheet's in there with a friend who's doing this. But also, I've seen lots and lots of posts from in the esoteric world, because people are waking up around that time whilst we've had all of the solar flaring. And if you think about that, that's like heavy sun, heavy energy. It's out of balance. It's pushing us to remind us that we need to rebalance, reset. Anyway, enough talking. I just thought I would add that bit in, because I know it's relevant to some of our, or one of our members and another lady at the moment. So let's start with a nice, relaxed, some cookie. I'm like, it's fine. I am on a slight heel, but I think the phone is a little bit. Oh, it's this. Put it on there so the phone don't get wet. Okay, so let's start with a nice cleansing breath. Arms coming up. Breathe in and exhale out. Now let's try that a little bit slower. In. Little pause with breath. And out. And again, in through the nose. Hold for a few seconds and exhale through the nose. Do one more while I do a little slug check here on the grass and before taking my shoes off, and make sure I'm not stepping in any. It's nuts. Okay, now bringing the hands to underneath the rib cage for the spleen. Deep breath in, and we're going to start with our pushing forward and rolling. So we tip the hips forward and back. So your pelvis goes forward and back, and you get a gentle rocking motion, and the hands come floating forward, and they stay level with the earth, with the spleen. And the breath is in and out. tuning into the body, feeling into the body. The feet are slightly wider than would you pose, more of a horse stance to give yourself more balance for the movement. You can get a little bend in the knees coming on and a little ripple up the body now. So and bring those arms in. We're going to bring this into a nice body ripple. So we're going to bend and come all the way up by the shoulders, and then roll the shoulders back, bend and come all the way up. Breathing in, breathing out. But to overemphasize. And shoulders, this time coming into stationary. You can put your hands on your stomach, or well, we say the stomachs, and we always go here, we talk about the stomach. The stomach's actually here, apparently. I was like, oh, really? And the kidneys this side. But if you put your hands on your lower dantian, as we want to feel the rise and fall of the breath as we breathe in through the dantian. So breathe from the lower dantian area and out, still through the nose. Feel that expansion and contraction. Now bringing the hands up and contract even more as we and then stay up and exhale still. From our T breath, we're gonna, this is the only one where when we exhale through the mouth with a fast movement. So this is it in slow motion. And we're going to do that in quick succession. So bring that into just a gentle twist with the arms. It's a little massaging, so feel that stretch here in your waist. Feel your liver, your spleen, and kidneys, and lower intestines. We're giving them a little bit of a massage. You can speed that up if you feel ready, depending on how your body is this morning. Listen to it. Breath in and out. In. Bending bring the knees, bend into it, slightly deeper little squat going on, and then bringing the hands up to the lungs. So in through the nose and out through the nose. And start to go back to here. Stationary. We're going to continue with that vein of the twist. We're going to bring the hands up and twist and bring them down behind you and then back to center. Hands go up, breathing in, exhaling down to the side and back to center. And then we're going to add into this in a moment the sound for car. Lungs, I feel like I need to spend a little bit of extra time after class every day on them. One of those niggly coughs guys, me and Caden. So, right, this, as I used before, my brain and my mind was distracted. Focus box, as Mate Schaefer would say. This sound, the heart sound, but we're going to do it more of a sound almost, but it's a H-A, ha, ha, like this, as we lift up and ha, 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 and scare the cats, ha, or the dogs, ha, ha, nice and powerful, ha, 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 and one more, ha. Okay, in the center, bringing your hands back up to the spleen. So that one is to help, that we just did, was to help with yin deficiency. It's also if there's an imbalance within the heart as well, which can happen when there's the yin. So we want to bring more yang movement energy to give us some energy, and also great for clearing the heart of any emotional traumas and triggers. So hands just on the spleen, dominant one underneath, and breathe into the spleen. Just feeling and visualizing light flowing down through the top of the head, coming through right underneath your hands, through the heart, and around this area, swelling, drawing it down. Drop one hand down to the lower dantian to catch it in your cauldron of energy. Feel filling up with your cup. Just a reminder that you have so many excess reserves, access to it whenever you need. We just forget to recharge, replug. Basically, that means just realign. Swap the hands over. And then start to circle. Nice big circles. So up on your right side, so it's probably going to be possibly a mirror of me. Up from the right down to the left. And And as you do this, get a little bend in the twist in the back, rotating the spine a little bit. So the hands are moving, focus on your spine kind of going like this. And the head drawing a little circle in the sky as we move. And then condensing that, moving the hands closer to the belly button. Stationary. Come to the belly button and about 2 fingers down and do a little massage on the uterine points. And this is great for menopause and for the menstrual cramps. And 4 fingers down as well. And just massage. Take the hands to the belly, bend the knees, give them a nice little pat. So, and I like to thank you, like you're patting someone on the back, but you're doing that to your digestive system for helping you to release excess, those wonderful bacteria. I want you to imagine you've got some beautiful gut flora going on, and they're not having a party, but they're feeling good and doing the jobs and saying thank you. Is this our gut bacteria can affect our moods, believe it or not. If travelling as well, so now we're just going to come over and just pat up the top, keep the bounce going still on the stomach, same things in life that maybe turn our stomach at the moment, saying it's fine, believing that higher good, and across with us. And then turn that into stopping the bounce and giving it a nice little tap. So when we go away, and when we go on a plane, when we get jet lagged, so the time zones, this can affect our gut flora. This science says apparently. It's why sometimes you don't feel like eating. You feel you certainly feel tired. So the same thing happens when your clock is out and you are feeling tired, and you can get like a bit of an icky tummy. Obviously sometimes it's where we're there in the food, but when we like those first few days. And they say this is to do with our gut bacteria, and it doesn't like it when we're in the air at so many feet. It affects our bodies and travelling in general. So if you've been away over the summer, and this can be affecting you in some way, causing diarrhea or the opposite, constipation. Circling, give a nice little tap around that whole area, and release the hands. Feel the tingling. We're going to move into our shaking. Bring the feet from horse stance into more of a widgie pose and gently bounce. We're going to continue. We're going to go through, let's go through the 6 sounds whilst we're doing this. Ooh. Easiness. Starting with the that we were working with before, just like a big sigh. Breathe in and exhale out. Like you're going. It's as if you're going to say the word snake. HWO. And again. And with the more of a ooh sound, with the WHOO. We did triple warmer, didn't we? I think I missed 6, I think we missed any. And just to finish, bringing the hands up, I want you to do the triple warmer, which is the he sound, just going up and balancing through any of those if they're off. And again, this sound is great to do at night if you have trouble sleeping, which can happen during the menopause. Come back to our shaking, this time with the hands up. And you can, we rushed through those, but you can do those a lot slower and a lot longer. And you can do and we've just done the physical kind of shaking. You can go through and do the emotional version of those, attached to those as well. Bring the hands and that shaking down. Ooh, cool. Let's come to our hips. We're going to do this in reverse. I'm going to start with our hips. You might want to come a little bit further apart with the legs and just rotate. Let's wake up the body. Circling round, drawing a circle in our Wonder Woman pose. I love this. I can't remember the lady that did the TED talk on Wonder Woman pose, but with our body's emotional intelligence, it exists. So if you've got an interview, so I was doing this yesterday thinking I'm going to be talking and reading, and then it didn't happen, but still, it's to get back into that state. And the opposite direction, interview, before you go on stage, it tells your body I am safe. And it always reminds me of in a talk that Louise L. Hay did that I had a recording of, and she was talking about how you see people and they're kind of scrunched and they're like this and they're looking down. She's like, how are you going to let the love in when you're like this? You want to be open and receptive. And it always makes me think of, I can hear those words in my head when we do them. So hinging forward and back. Tipping the pelvis, rocking the pelvis. And then hands up to the spleen and circle again, but don't move the top half of the body. Keep the breath flowing at all times, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So we're drawing smaller circles and the opposite direction. Try and keep the shoulders and the upper body still. And then we're going to do that with the top. So side to side first. Try not to move the hips. And then rotate the upper half, giving the spleen a little massage. And the opposite direction. It's quite hard. And then come into stillness. It's a little bit more. So we're going to do our kidney swirls. Like we started, we did the circles, the one that's shaped like a kidney. So if you take into what we call bow stance, so one leg goes back, not on a slug, she says, and the hands come forward as you breathe with the breath. And exhale, and then you take it out a little bit when you're at the stomach, and then you circle around. So you're making, in essence, the shape of a kidney. And focus. So close the eyes down, lunging forward, almost side lunge, and circulating the hands. We are moving the chi around to flow. Boris, we'll play after the kids have gone to school. He's standing there with his toy in his mouth. Yeah, I know you're going to do the jumping thing, aren't you? There we go. You go from there. You watch. You're going to drink my water, are you? I love this boy, but he sorry, don't worry if you can't see me, just feel through. There we go, that's distracted. He's the one that's deaf. So, he is like the ever-ready bunny when it comes to playtime. Breathing in. Sorry, I'm talking. Still back to stomach. Step back. Back leg forward, and the other one back, doing the other side. So Boris, I need you to move, mate. So we rotate round. You've probably got it anyway, ladies. But still, it does help if you can see me. Boris. The breeder named him Boris after a certain government official because she said he was a bit of a drip when he was born. He is so lovable, though. He is, out of all of our cats, he's a cuddle bear because he loves physical touch where he can't hear. But mate, come on. Breathing in. Coming to centre. Hopefully you weren't as distracted as me by the cat. Coming into the centre. Let's bring that up into a cleansing breath. Down through the centre, centering. We haven't done anything with our bottom half, but we're going to go to seated position in a moment and massage some of the reflexology points in the legs. Before we do, you can, depending on you, you can do this seated. Bring one leg up, hold that with the same hand as foot. The other one comes forward, and you can bend that knee, a straight knee, and feel that through here. I really feel it on this leg because this is the one that I have. So you might be able to go deeper and just breathe. So these are great for the bilateral crossovers, so right and left brain hemispheres that can get stuck in either being too much energy or not enough energy, excess yang or an indeficient yin, or the other way around. Your balance is great. And then lowering that foot. Do the same on the other side. So same hand as foot. So if you're seated, you can do this seated, and this one comes forward and bend. Because I know if you've got any problem with these, I suggest seated position. Oh, on the table leg, I've got the camera. The phone is on the back. Focus. On the table. There's a tiny little baby snout, it's about that big, crawling up. It's Diddy. And relax that. And then we'll take you through. So if you just like to come to a seated position, which I suppose we could do it out here, but I'll lose track of time if we're out here. Let's take you in to the dark. Alexa, can you turn on the living room light? Thank you. Gosh, until I wasn't home last night. It's a little bit on the messy side. There we go. So hopefully you should be able to see me from here. But bringing those feet back up, I'm going to work with our feet, just to do this. The leaf off of my foot. So just the ones that we've always worked through, the basics. So start with the little toe and give it a nice little massage. Oh, it's 7:07. I love the sevens. See sevens everywhere and fours. And obviously we're a 7 year. And then the next one along. So each of these are connected to the meridians. I'm still learning them. So we're just making sure they're like cleared out like a tube of toothpaste. The big toe in the centre is the pituitary gland. So after you give it a little massage, if you take your fingernail and right in the centre with both of the thumbnails, give it a little kneading. This helps with that connection to the divine or our higher consciousness. Then roll the thumbs down the big toe from top to bottom, one after the other, coming down the side. Come to the heel and then walk the thumbs up away from the heel. This one here, I always remember because this is great for period pains, and obviously I said about the menopause, so the uteral pains. And then we want to make an L shape across the top of the foot from the little toe. So just massaging with our, got something on the bottom of my foot, massaging from the little toe downwards and then across when you get about halfway through your foot, and then you cover the stomach, intestines. And who doesn't like a foot massage? We're coming up to the ankle, where you've got your ankle 2 fingers along and this little tender point. Now, if you've had issues with loose bowels, even if it's no longer there, they recommend that you massage regularly this point for 6 weeks after, which is quite a long time, I thought, but to help. So this is for the bowel. So give it generally, if it's might feel a bit tender, and it certainly will if there's been any issues. If it's tender, it means there is some issues, but obviously this season where we're working through and clearing, it's likely to be the case. And then roll the thumbs up to the top, so along that bone, just on the inside of that bone, you want to just press gently as you go up. And feeling that massage. And at the top, the same thing. Just so you're, I suppose it's 4 fingers from the middle of my knee here. If you can see, I need to send you the little diagrams. You can give that a little massage. And then while we're on this leg, we come to either side, give a little massage here, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And from here, come down in front and over the 9 mile point. This is where you need to, this along with doing this in the afternoon, if you're feeling a little bit of a lull, is a good one to do. Obviously just feels really nice. Okay, coming to the other foot, repeat what we just did on that side of the foot. Excuse my filthy feet. And start with the little toe. And take a bit of time. Relax each of them. Rotating or massaging at least 12 times on each toe. So we want whole body, all the meridians. And then again, when you come to the toe, circling to, but taking the thumbnails and then a little bit more attention. So you press, release, help that connection as we work with the essential noise. And rolling thumb over, thumb down your big toe. When I worked in Sephora many years ago, when I was at college, there was a lady that used to come into our skincare department, and she said to me that this season, sort of fall season, every season she always went for like a pedicure, manicure, but specifically she'd have reflexology done. She said to get my feet ready for the winter. And then same again with the L shape from the little toe, come across and up, massage over here. Looking after our feet, we're on them. A lot of the time, if you're running around, if you're busy, you neglect them. And your feet and your hands. One of the masters says that these gates are your gold if you want to be rich. I'll show you in a second. We will do this. And well, it's just literally to do this every day, because that wealth of gold, of how important that is for that gate to be open, is just better than any treasure. Your health. Coming to the heel, massaging from the heel up. And while you've got the feet, actually, we might as well do that to finish. We'll do the others first. I'll add that one. So again, 4 fingers from here and massage. Sides are not as tender. So you can circle with your massages, or you can press and release, press and release. One might be more intense than the other. For me, the press and release is very intense. And as we are not doing acupressure, we don't need to be as exact, because our thumb is a lot bigger than a needle would be. So the circling, but you make sure then whilst you're doing that, you're in that vicinity, so it doesn't matter so much if we were putting needles in. Of course it would. And coming up and down the side of that kind of bony bit. My technical terms here. And here at the top. Placing the feet down, massage either side. And slaps. And down to the 9-mile palms. I can really feel that one now. I've loosened something. And if you grab your other foot, we're going to slap the palms of the feet. Now, 100 times is recommended. We're just going to do a little bit today. We'll do that another day. In fact, maybe Monday, we will work through all the different gates in the body. You can do a little bit now. And then this side. Whilst we're here, let's do under the back of the knees. And middle of the elbows. And because we haven't done it, starting at the top, we're going to come from the hips and just come pat down and cup and come up the inside. I'm going to do plenty in here, a little bit of the arms. And down the inside and up the outside of the arms. Just do 2 or 3. Everything's threes, 6s, 12s, 9s, multiples of 3. In. Shake. And coming to a stop for our meditation. So take a breath. Put your hands, palms face down, closing and relaxing the eyes, relaxing the tongue behind the teeth. We're going to start with the teeth and the mouth. So this is for the mouth, the saliva, but it's also connected to the gut that we worked with. The bacteria in our mouth and the bacteria in the gut are linked. So we're going to, our eyes just feel into it. Tap the teeth at the very front together, tapping the jaw 9 times in the middle, 9 times to the right and 9 times to the left. Try not to swallow. If you have to, don't worry, but try not to swallow, so the saliva will start to build in your mouth. And then after the tongue goes behind the front teeth, and you work that tongue around the inside of the teeth, going down to the right, down to the bottom, into the middle, and around. And you do that 9 times in one direction and 9 times in another direction. Okay, so let's start with the tapping and maybe a swallow. And when you've finished, you can swallow. Great to do as for our mouth and our oral hygiene. So it's our breathing, bringing our awareness to our breath, bringing our awareness to this now moment. Breathing in, breathing out. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, even if you've got dogs around, kids around, and noise going on in the background, really try and allow that chaos for you to become the calm within the chaos. So you're cultivating and practicing being the calm in the chaos. So whatever is going on around you, be it externally or be it the chaos of our mind, you're still cultivating this awareness of this reservoir of calm that we have within us with the breath. So focusing, the easiest way to do this is to be focusing on the internal inhale and exhaling, and just the physical movement of the flow of the breath, going with the breath with our awareness. And with Qigong, we do that by bringing in and visualizing fresh qi and cultivating, as we breathe in, that fresh oxygen, and it pumps around the body, it goes to the heart, flows to the heart turns that around and out and into the blood to pump it around the blood down to the little fingers and the capillaries, as Louise L. Hay would say, and down to your toes. Think of the sense of the energy of that flowing not just in the blood through the air, but out to the end of your follicles of your hair, to the tips of your eyelashes. And we're going to go through the body from the top of the head, from that little point that we were massaging yesterday, feeling it coming down all over your head, all through your brain. Beautiful white light, the rainbows we were working with, whatever colour from our little snowball yesterday. Feel the light, a beautiful rainbow bridge flowing through your mind for whatever colour is needed, whatever colour in the sound spectrum is needed, going to where it's needed, coming down to the throat, flowing through you. And what I've lovingly been calling recently, your lightsaber, your Jedi lightsaber, your central column of light. Visualizing, as we do daily, our 12D, I like to say filter as opposed to shield, star above our head, flowing down. And you can bring the hands above the head if you wish, and actually physically feel it coming down. It gives you more muscle memory, or you can just visualize that flowing of the star or the ball coming from the top of the head, through the top of the head, through, down past the shoulders, through the high heart, the plexus and solar plexus, down to the root, and sort of splitting off down either leg, the masculine and the feminine, flowing down to ground, to the disc that's below us by about 1.5 meters. So connecting through this channel to the fields, the morphogenetic fields that we have, different layers that connected to different things in the body, different areas, different levels of our being, of our awareness, of our consciousness, flowing through. And kind of imagine each of these layers, ripples happening as this movement goes down. It's constantly flowing one way from above, with our connection to galactic sense, the sense of that, of whatever you call it, the universe, source, God, consciousness, higher awareness, breathing that into as it is present in all of the cells, wherever they are in your body, from your eardrums to your eyelashes to the tips of your toes. Breathing it through, feeling them all pulsing. And going back to how we started on Tuesday with a sense of our boundaries. So as you breathe in this time, breathing in, connect to you. and those cells. And as you breathe out, think about your connection to the everything, to oneness, to the seat that you're sitting on, to the floor that's beneath you. And do the same again, breathing in, contracting when we need, and expanding that light out. And we do that with every breath. We are one with ourselves, our being, that essence and awareness that is viewing, that is hearing me, that is moving, assessing our own thoughts, not our thoughts though, and our exhale when we connect to the awareness that we are made of the same stars, of that which comes from the galaxy. We are made of star stuff. We are made of the elements. That is and all came from the same point of creation. Go back to that space before we start our day. Just be in stillness with that awareness that you are individual, yet you are collective. And you are safe in your own skin. You are loved and enough. And you greet this day knowing you are full of this blessing, this gift of the awareness of this moment. And like a beautiful rose each day as it unfolds, showing its beauty, never the same yet never the same, just like we are as individuals. And breathing in, breathing out. Feel your calm, your own connection, the beautiful spark that is you. And you can pause if you're doing this on a recording and spend longer. I'm going to call you back to the room, to your awareness of the moment where you are. If you weren't already, wiggle the toes, feel your hands on your knees, and through touch, just gently sweeping down the body with the hands, down the arms, brush off any excess energy, coming up to the chin. We go up over the face, and run the fingers through the hair if you can, 12 times. And give them a little shake, and slowly in your own time you can open your eyes. I'm just going to grab one of the packs to do our daily card. Actually, I might as well bring you with me over here to the desk. And pop it there. You might even be able to see them. And I am drawn to this one, same as yesterday. The one that doesn't seem to want to open is really. So you stay breathing, slowly coming back to yourself. You might want to the feet
to bring yourself if you've gone deep. I stay connected to my higher self and ask for guidance, wisdom for the day, what is relevant in our highest good. What do we need to know? What would be helpful for us to know right now? Black dragon. Alexa, can you turn on the dining room light? Black dragon from Saturn.
This might answer your question.
Alexa, stop. Black dragon from Saturn brings you wisdom through spiritual discipline. Concentrate, focus on your ultimate vision. Congratulate yourself. You have passed the test. And I'm seeing this to me, it's this dark dragon and Saturn and its associations. For me, this is once we face our fears, once we are able to open up and go within to our shadow, we can, it's a beautiful gift. So the things that we find a challenge in our life are the greatest gifts. Generally, a lot of people that are successful people, they're things that they had as a challenge, the things they end up doing as a career. You might say they're the things that they teach other people how they have overcome, or how they have, their stories are beautiful. And there's some beautiful stories out there of people. And I'm hearing this sense of this is the light and dark. And if you look at that in a way, it kind of focuses to me, the swirling and the dark with that backdrop of the light reminds me of the yin and the yang in the Chinese culture, that balance and cultivating our energy, as we've been talking about that. So bring your wisdom through spiritual discipline. That practice, it's not like we suddenly become, we're enlightened now and that's it. And we've got the wisdom, and it's something you must cultivate and connect constantly. And it's that practice of doing that, of every day connecting to the heart, every day doing the movements, every day in incrementation through the body. You feel the difference that, oh, I can bend over slightly more, or oh, that doesn't feel as like tight anymore. And the same with our diets, little incrementation. That's practice, which for me, the spiritual is our everyday. It's not necessarily on a Sunday when off to church. It's the way we are and how we live in a divine way, that every moment is the spiritual discipline of our thoughts and our focus, and how we are with each other, and how we bring that element and the wisdom of love. So through your day with your clients, and with the conversations we have, and with how we think about what's happening when something comes up, as well as taking time to meditate, taking time to chant, taking time, whatever it is that we do for us. So it's saying we've passed, we're doing that, we've started that journey. So we're watering the plant of our spirituality with what it needs, the sun, the water, the love, and consistency. So blessings for that in your day. I will stop the recording there. Boop.